A major twist in the Bengals offseason, and it's coming from deep inside the locker room. One insider just dropped a bold prediction about the Shamar Stewart standoff. And if he's right, things could get messy fast. Let's break it down. But before we dive into the latest drama out of Cincinnati, if you're a real Bengals fan, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button, smash like, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so you never miss breaking Bengals news the moment it drops. All right, let's get into it. With training camp just days away, the Bengals are facing a growing concern, and his name is Shamar Stewart. The rookie defensive end, a first-round pick with sky-high expectations, is refusing to show up due to a dispute over contract language. He hasn't taken a single rep, no walkthroughs, no drills, nothing. The Bengals had high hopes that Stewart, despite just 4 sacks in college, could be developed into a force off the edge. He's got the frame, the athleticism, and the raw tools. But right now, none of that matters, because he's simply not on the field. Insiders say this standoff is showing no signs of ending quietly. In fact, one close to the situation believes the Bengals might call Stewart's bluff, meaning this holdout could drag well into camp, or even into the preseason. And remember, with Trey Hendrickson also making headlines for the wrong reasons, Cincinnati might be looking at a defensive line missing both of its expected starters. That's not just a setback. That's a crisis waiting to happen. This contract standoff isn't just frustrating. It could seriously hurt the Bengals' defense. Cincinnati was counting on Shamar Stewart to be a game-changer off the edge, a young pass rusher to finally ease the burden on Trey Hendrickson, who's carried the pressure game almost single-handedly. Now, Stewart's absence is turning into a massive problem. According to a report from NFL insider Adam Schefter, Stewart's refusal to report isn't just about money. It's about principle. On 97.1 The Fan, Schefter said, "He's dug in on the language. He doesn't want to be made an example of." The issue? A clause in Stewart's contract that reportedly allows the Bengals to void future guarantees under certain conduct-related circumstances, including possible drug test failures or violations of league rules. It's a clause used by other franchises, but it's new to Cincinnati. And Stewart isn't having it. He doesn't want to be the first. He doesn't want to be the guinea pig. And by the sound of it, he's willing to sit out until that language changes, or until the front office blinks. But here's the real problem. Neither side is handling this well. The Bengals front office has been quiet, slow-moving, and frankly too rigid for a situation involving their top pick. On the other side, Stewart's camp has been loud and unwilling to compromise, painting the franchise in a corner just a week out from training camp. It's a standoff, and unless something shifts soon, this could spill into the season. Right now, every headline in Cincinnati seems to ask the same question. When will Shamar Stewart finally sign? It's been the top storyline surrounding the Bengals for weeks, and it's not going away anytime soon. But NFL insider Adam Schefter thinks he sees where this is headed. On the same interview with 97.1 The Fan, he dropped a bold prediction. "My guess? Shamar is going to win this battle. The Bengals can't afford to drag this out. They need him on the field." And he's absolutely right. This isn't the year to take a stand on contract language. Not when you use the first-round pick on a guy you hope would help anchor your defensive future. Not when the pass rush is already shaky outside of Trey Hendrickson. And definitely not when every practice miss sets Stewart further behind in his development. If this turns into a game of chicken, the Bengals might be the ones who blink first. Because at the end of the day, the longer this drags on, the more it hurts the team. Stewart may not have been dominant in college, just 4 sacks to his name, but what he does have is raw talent, physical tools, and untapped upside. That kind of potential needs reps, not holdouts. Still, there's a flip side. The Bengals used a high-value draft pick on Stewart. They believed in what he could become. But now, it's on him to prove he's worth the trust. Not just by standing firm on contract terms, but by eventually producing on the field. Because potential means nothing until it shows up on Sundays. You can understand why Shamar Stewart is digging in. From his perspective, the contract language feels unfair, something he believes he doesn't deserve. He's thinking, why should I sign a deal that could wipe away my guarantees over conduct clauses I haven't violated? That mindset? It's not rare. But here's the reality. This language isn't unique to Cincinnati. Duke Tobin and the Bengals front office haven't invented anything new here. Similar clauses exist across the NFL, yes. Some teams add different wording, minor tweaks here and there, but the structure is consistent league-wide. What makes this situation explode? Simple. Shamar Stewart is a first-round pick, and he's sitting out. That turns everything into a headline. Let's not forget, the moment the Bengals selected Stewart, critics raised eyebrows. Only 4 sacks in college? Why take that guy so high? That was the conversation on draft night. And instead of using this offseason to prove the doubters wrong, Stewart's watching from the sidelines. The Bengals didn't draft him to be a contract headache. They drafted him to rush the quarterback opposite Trey Hendrickson. That's what this team desperately needs. Pressure, consistency, depth. Stewart was supposed to be a hedge in case the Hendrickson situation dragged out. But now, they're both question marks. And here's the kicker. Adam Schefter still believes Stewart will win this battle, that Cincinnati will cave, and that they'll punt on the language fight until next year, maybe with a lower pick. Maybe that's what should have happened in the first place. Because with the roster already under pressure and one of your best defenders in limbo, this is the worst possible time to play contract hardball, especially when the guy you need on the field is refusing to step on it. At this point, it's no longer just a contract issue. It feels like a power struggle. Some fans are starting to say what others won't. The Bengals front office seems more interested in winning an argument than winning football games. That's the frustration. Shamar Stewart has drawn a hard line. And while some understand his stance, his decision to stay off the field is becoming a distraction. Meanwhile, Cincinnati's front office has dug in just as deep, refusing to budge on language they've never enforced before. Neither side wants to blink first. And while all this plays out, the team suffers. Will Stewart eventually show up? Possibly. Training camp has a way of turning tension into urgency. Pads come on. The real competition begins. And rookies start to realize what they're missing. But even if he reports, what happens next? Will he just watch from the sidelines like he did during minicamp? Or will he finally take meaningful reps and prove why he was drafted in the first round? The truth is, this feels like it's headed toward a slow, uncomfortable compromise. One where the Bengals slightly adjust the language, Stewart agrees to terms, and the front office walks away knowing this can't happen again next year. But that's all speculation for now. The only thing we know for sure is this. Until this contract drama ends, the Bengals can't move forward. Not on defense, not in development, and not as a unified roster.